mental health in Colorado, or Mental Health Colorado. Both are really important. Andrew, I'm going to let you tell a little bit about yourself when you talk about your issue in your stump speech. So let's start with an icebreaker, if that's cool. And have fun with it. Yeah.
This says, if a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be, and who would play you? So I'm hoping for a romantic comedy, and the lead would be Daniel Day-Lewis. That's my choice.
All right. Now choose an issue, and use this opportunity to tell us about yourself if you'd like.
Sure.
Oh, filibuster.
So that means I have unlimited time, apparently, to answer this question. That was a joke. So I'm happy to talk about the filibuster. I'll be brief. I think we ought to eliminate it. It doesn't serve a useful purpose, and it's blocking progress on a lot of the core changes we need. I want to use my own filibuster, though, to make this case. I will support any of the Democrats who are running for the United States Senate against Cory Gardner if they win the nomination. Obviously, I wouldn't be running if I didn't think I was the best qualified choice, and I'll make that case to you as well. But I recognize there is another election between now and then, a number of elections actually across Colorado, and we have some terrific candidates here like Tay Anderson, who's running for the Denver Board of Education. So I hope that you will give them some support, even as I appreciate the urgency that you're bringing by the turnout that is shown here. And I want to also thank Indivisible for organizing this event. So my name is Andrew Romanoff. As you heard, I was the Speaker of the House. I helped lead the Democrats in Colorado to our first majority in 30 years, our first back-to-back majorities since the 1960s. But what makes me proudest of all is what we did with the power you gave us. And that's the point, by the way. The point of getting power is not just to keep it, it's to use it to improve the lives of the people you represent. So we teamed up with a Republican governor to put together an economic recovery plan and lift the state out of a deep recession. I teamed up with a Democratic treasurer named Kerry Kennedy to help create the largest investment in school construction in the history of Colorado. I stood up for folks who had been the victims of domestic violence or sexual assault, folks who suffered from mental illness or drug addiction. We got a lot done. That's not the case, of course, in Washington. I joined this race because I think we are literally running out of time to rescue our planet, to repair our democracy, to restore the American dream. You ought to demand in this race a candidate who is committed to a program like Medicare for All so that we can make sure we learn from the rest of the industrialized world and figure out a way to cover all Americans and hold down our costs instead of watching tens of thousands of folks, tens of millions in this country go bankrupt or die because they can't afford to see a doctor. You ought to demand a candidate who will embrace a Green New Deal so we can end our reliance on fossil fuel and accelerate our transition to a clean energy economy instead of condemning our kids to live in a world where floods and storms and heat waves, wildfires and droughts become ever more frequent and destructive, and where millions and soon hundreds of millions of people are uprooted from their homes and turned into climate refugees because the land beneath them is literally washing away or too barren to eke out a living. You ought to demand a candidate who supports comprehensive immigration reform, including a path to citizenship for folks who are willing to work hard and contribute their talent to a nation that needs them, like my mom and all four of my grandparents who are immigrants. You ought to demand a candidate who supports campaign finance reform to reduce the role of money and increase the power of people in politics instead of simply selling public offices to the special interests that these politicians are supposed to be regulating. Because the truth is, we are not going to get the changes we need, the climate action we need, the healthcare reform we need, or any of the other progress we need, as long as we allow some of the nation's biggest corporations to bankroll Congress and block reform. And finally, you ought to demand a candidate who is committed to building an economy that works for all of us. The policies of trickle-down economics that Cory Gardner has pursued, simply showering tax breaks on those at the top and hoping that the benefits somehow materialize for the rest of us in the middle or at the bottom, that plan doesn't work. I'm committed to flipping this seat, not just from red to blue, but from paralysis to progress. I think that's what's at stake in this election. You can learn more about me at andrewromanoff.com. I don't want to run out the clock on this first filibuster here, but I appreciate your interest in this race, and I hope to earn every single vote here.
Thank you so much, Andrew.